Today's episode is brought to you by the Twisted Fork. Eat, drink, and enjoy. Jena Murphy Robidas, how are you?
I am good, K-Rock. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I refer to you as the local 80s queen because your band is a killer band that plays 80s.
Yes.
And you do it right. I mean, you really, truly honor the 80s, man.
Thank you.
A little something about you. You're the lead singer of FM station FLA.
Yes.
Very important that we say
Very
FLA
important.
as opposed to GA or NJ.
True indeed. We are in Florida.
You are from Northport, Florida.
Yes.
How long have you been living there?
We have been in Northport 2 years. We moved over from Venice. We've been here 4 years in total in Florida.
Hey, do you live near Welland Park?
That's where we moved from. We lived in Welland Park, which is technically Northport if you want to get into the
that place is beautiful, man. I just drove around back there because I have a client there, and I couldn't believe how nice it is. It's like pristine.
Yeah, it is really nice.
Unbelievable.
It's a little too crowded for my taste.
In fact, No Filter plays there on a regular basis. Yes. You are a self-proclaimed rock star who takes multivitamins, a rebel sometimes with a cause, and a bit hoodish, a bit namaste. Is that safe to say?
You took that from my Facebook, yes.
I did, because I think that accurately describes you.
Well, thank you.
If I can speak. What I like about your band is that you bring a lot of energy, and I think that you go out of your way to make sure people have a fun time. Am I right?
Yes, that is the goal, to make sure that everybody comes and has a great, not just enjoying the band, but an experience that takes them back to maybe some of the feelings they had in the 80s.
Why the 80s? Why did you pick the 80s?
Oh, who doesn't love the 80s, if you remember them? For me, personally, the 80s was a time of me growing up, and when I fell most in love with music. There's so many different components to the 80s. That's when style was changing, clothing was fun, and all of these different genres of the 80s came out. You had new wave, you had disco, you had rock, you had arena rock. I mean, there's so much to the 80s. There's so much possibility. How could you not love it?
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Because I'm older than you, and I remember the 70s, right?
Yeah.
So when the 80s rolled, I was in high school, and you had cliques. You had your the guys that were the disco guys that wore the Capigios, and all they wanted to do was dance.
Yes.
And then you had, my group was the jocks, and we were like Leonard Skinner and drinking beer, And then you had the guys that were the new wave guys, because in New York, we had a couple new wave stations, right?
Yeah.
WDRE or LIR, I think was one of them. And in Long Island, there was another one. But they were playing like Joe Jackson and like that kind of stuff.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I went to Joe Jackson concert. I think my mom was a huge music fan. Took me to see Joe Jackson, I think for my 6th birthday, my 6th or 7th, down at the pier in the city.
It's so funny you say that because I love Joe Jackson.
Yeah.
And there's a song that he does that I want to cover, but
which one?
I know you're going to try to steal it now because
I'm
it's
wondering
called I'm the Man.
No, that's not the one I want to do.
It's so good. You probably want to do Sunday Papers?
No.
Or Look Sharp?
No.
Is she really going?
No.
Oh my God. What else is there?
What is the title of the song? Into the night. Stepping Out.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I love that one.
And you have a good keyboard player that can do that.
Yeah, we have a
Since we're talking about that, tell me who's in your band.
So, myself, obviously. We have David Woodworth on guitar. He is who I started the band with.
Now, where did he come from? Was he in Nobody's Fool?
I do believe he was. Yeah, in the past, he's played with Roxanne, in her band I never say it right, Blackthorn Rose.
Correct.
Yeah, he played with Roxanne as well, and I do believe he was in Nobody's Fool. So David was pretty much the first person I hired in the band when I
quality guitar player.
Yeah, he's amazing.
He's very good. He can play rhythm, lead. He does it all.
Yeah, he's great. And just generally a good person. He works really hard to help me with the band.
Good.
So I really appreciate him. And then after that, Dave and I hired Keith Everett on bass, who we affectionately call K2. Outstanding musician, cool as a cucumber on stage, so much fun. And then, we've had our share of drummers in the band. We had Keith in the very beginning when we started, Keith, who's in Jacked Up with you and I. And then we moved on and we tried out some other folks, but the real fit and the real prize here was we have Mike Zimmerman now. So that has just been absolutely amazing for us. And then our newest hire recently, we did have Matt Aebe in the band, and Matt had to do a lot of traveling back and forth. You know, he wasn't permanently here from Georgia. So we took on John Hanko from Rock Candy, joined the band recently. So he's been with us for a couple of months, and it has been phenomenal because,
Excellent.
yeah.
It opens up a lot of doors, right? The
Yeah.
sounds that he can produce and the different genres of the 80s you can cover.
Yeah, absolutely. And Matt was our rhythm guitar player, but went out of his way to learn keys for us, for me, so we could do some of the songs that I wanted to do. But John, being a dedicated, you know, key and synth player, added so many layers to the band.
Missing Persons, you do that one?
We don't.
Life is so strange. That'd be cool. You should do that.
Yeah, there's so much possibility.
I know.
Now.
We do a couple 80s songs. We do Jenny, which I sing that. People like that.
Great song.
It's one of those songs. It's really weird, man. It's like it still gets a good response after all these years.
It does.
Because you got to remember our audiences, okay? So like you're Charlotte into Sarasota. I'm basically Sarasota into Manatee. It's mostly men and women, right? 65 plus, a lot of 70-year-olds. And they just, they grew up, right? And like maybe they were born in like the late 50s, early 60s. So they truly know the 70s. They truly know their 80s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they just love it. I think that this is an excellent marketplace for cover acts.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of venues for us to play at. B, I think there's a hunger. There's really a hunger for live entertainment and cover.
Absolutely.
Not that against original music, but it seems like more people want to hear cover bands than they do necessarily want to hear original bands here. Only because the radio-friendly stuff is easy to dance to.
Yeah. Well, I think that's always been probably in our whole lifetime. Nobody, unless you're supporting your friend's band, nobody really goes out of their way, unfortunately, to see original music,
Now, think about all the wonderful bands here. I mean, this just around our area, like Gas House Gorillas, great example. I saw them last night at the fair, or no, I'm sorry, at the Seafood Fest. They're so good.
Yeah, she puts on a show.
And Renee is just a wonderful singer. It's incredible. 22N.
Yeah.
They're a machine.
Yes.
Right? I can go on and on and on about the bands that come out of the Charlotte County area, Sarasota, Manatee. Now, more and more of the Tampa bands are starting to come down here. You notice that? I'm seeing that. I'm seeing more of them coming here. Like, it's funny because that bridge used to make a big difference. Like, we didn't cross that bridge, right?
Yeah.
And they didn't cross the bridge. And they had enough venues up there. We had enough venues. But now you're starting to see venues here are bringing down Tampa St. Pete. And I think I told my previous guest, Kerry,
Yes.
your buddy,
Yeah.
that even though everybody here is cool and we all get along, we do compete for stage time.
Listen, I watched you speak with Kerry about that. And first and foremost, just to say, when you're speaking of, Renee and Kristen, wonderful women that thankfully I've had an opportunity to meet because of you, and we'll talk about that, I'm sure, the Suncoast benefit. And, if you're talking about bands like Aurora 5 and Malu, like coming down this
she's
way,
great.
I love it, but I don't think we're competing. There is enough room, and this is great words of my girlfriend Maria from Smudge Kitten. There is enough room in the sandbox for everybody to play. She once told me that. And I don't think we're competing. I think we're just rotating for time. There's only so many bands in so many venues, right?
There's only so many Saturdays somebody said to me.
And there's only so many Saturdays, right? So a band like mine, we don't really play on Fridays because most of us are still working our day jobs. So very hard. And I think you remember that when I was in Jacked Up, trying to get from Northport to run up to Bradenton to start at 5 p.m. when you have a day job is like impossible. So, I think that, and you have to pay your dues. We're a newer band. So I don't expect to be getting the schedule or the shows that somebody like, Gas House is getting, or 22N, or even Jacked Up. You've paid your dues. You've been doing this for years.
Right. There's some truth to that. Yeah.
So you just have to be patient.
We used to get $200, man, in the old days. And then we had to split it like, 5 ways. One time we got $300 and the sound guy wanted 200 of it.
Well, that's typical. Our sound guy's my husband, James. So, we still pay him, but.
Yeah. No, so let's go ahead and talk about Jacked Up. So let's talk about how you got involved and how you and I met, because
it's a crazy story.
It's funny because you joined the band and you took over for Dana, who left.
Yeah.
And unbeknownst to me, you had been to one of our shows. Yeah. And I think you're either on video or there was a picture of you in the audience, like rocking out.
Yeah.
How funny is that?
Well, it was crazy. I don't know if at that show, that was a seafood festival in Englewood, I don't know if my husband and I had fully moved to Florida yet, or we had just come down to like see the house. But that was like our first experience out. We knew nothing. We bought our house in Venice, sight unseen, online during the pandemic with no intention of moving here. It was just an investment. And then when everything went crazy in 2020 and we were living in East Harlem in the city, it was just bananas. We came down to check it out, and we were like, "Oh my god, people are thriving here. They're living. They're not locked up in their
I know.
houses, you know?" So we went to the Englewood Seafood Fest, and I think that you guys were like the very first band that we saw, and I ran up and I was dancing. Of course, I had, many cocktails before I got up there, but and it was great. And then it was months down the road, if not maybe a year later, when you guys had your ad up. And I remember there was no name attached to it. And I had auditioned for another band out here and I went to meet them and like I just did not get along with them. And I was like, this isn't gonna work. Um, and then when I spoke to you, and I remember saying to my husband, I'm like, I wonder if it's that band we saw at the seafood fest. Like, how crazy would that be?
Sure.
And then I remember going back to the video and showing you, like, that's me
Yeah.
dancing in the
And you were the
mud.
perfect replacement for Dana because you came with some style and some attitude and you could belt them out.
Well,
So
thank
it was an
you.
easy transition for us that when you came in.
Well, I think that the biggest, um, or maybe like the funniest thing was that, Dana and I have a lot of similarities. We're both tall. We're both pushing. I mean, I've hung out with Dana. She's pushing almost 6 feet as well. You know, big dark hair. So for a long time,
With strong
everybody
voices.
thought I was Dana.
Yeah.
Yeah, people would be like, "Wait a minute, you
Yeah.
look different." But yeah, and she's got a strong voice and a lower register, much like
And isn't
myself.
it funny
So
how like everybody's like still working, everybody's very successful. Like your band's killing it, Dana's band's
thank
killing it.
you. Yeah.
Everybody's gone up and even our own drummer Dave, he's got a band that he's and there's so everybody seems to has stayed with it,
Yeah.
And as I mentioned earlier, there's lots of opportunities to play. Um, I mean, between the three counties alone, let alone going back down to Collier or Lee.
Yeah.
But what I love about these seafood festivals is that they come around this time of the year, and it's like a traveling circus or a carnival, whereas like it's the same vendors and it's the
Yeah.
same crew, the same owners, same people. So they'll set up shop in Sarasota, then they'll go down to Punta Gorda, then they'll go out to Coquina,
Yeah.
then they'll go up to Tampa. So it's just coming around, and it's basically every weekend between now and like the end of April.
Yeah.
And it's fun because all the cities are behind it and all the tourism's behind it, the counties, because it brings down a lot of people.
Absolutely.
Like there are people that come and plan their trips based on,
Yep.
you know, who they're going to see, what bands they're going to see, and what festivals they're going to go to.
Yeah.
Like you probably have seasonal fans, right? You probably have women that come up to you and say, "Hey, I saw you last year, and now I'm back, and I'm here to see you again," right? Like they went back north, and now they're back for season. We
Well,
get some of that.
I think we'll see that this year. So keeping in mind that this we actually just completed our first full year of FM station. It's only been a year. So I started putting the project together probably almost 2 years ago. But once I actually got all of the people in place, and you know how hard it is to get booked here, you're booking a year ahead. We're already looking to book 2027. So our shows were very limited in the beginning
Right.
because everything was booked by
Right.
the time
That's what I'm talking about.
So yeah, so I think this is
Competing
the
for time.
season where people will come
But
back.
here's the
and say,
thing: there are venues that absolutely love and adore you. So like, there are certain places where you play regularly because you bring in a good crowd, and that's important,
It is
right? It's
important.
because we forget it's not just about the sound and the quality of the band, but you know what? At the end of the day, they got to sell drinks, right?
100%. There is nothing more true than what you just said. You can be the greatest band in all of Southwest Florida. If you're not ringing that register,
What is your strategy on stage? I ask a lot of singers this. Are you trying to promote certain drinks? Are you promoting, drinking in general? Or do you guys drink on stage? Do you do a shot like Dr. Dave does a team drink? Um, Sometimes if there's a special that's out there, I'll say it on the mic. How do you handle that?
so one very good pointer that I picked up from working with you in Jacked Up is I do not like drinking on stage. I never really have, if you're just a typical kick around bar band, but everybody keep it in mind that you're there to do a job. But I also get the other aspect that people want to see you partying and having fun. It might get them hyped up. So I have one glass of red wine at home while I'm getting ready for the show. I have, a beer before we play, and then it is just water for me. And the guys in our band aren't big drinkers either. But I think it's so important, to constantly be promoting the staff, the bartenders, make sure that you're having a good time. Like, I'm here to work. You guys are hanging out. You can go and drink the night away. And I encourage that. It's your night out. I just can't do the same because I have to stand on stage for 4 hours and, not slur through words. Nobody wants to see a sloppy presentation. So I am against drinking on stage. I do not think it's professional.
I had a singer one time that used to drink shots of water and pretend that she was drinking booze with everybody else.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, listen, you could do a shot if somebody, bought them. I don't particularly drink liquor, so, it's not for me, but
But if somebody like this was a weird situation for us. We were at the White Elephant. We're at Woody's on Christmas for our annual Christmas show, and a lady came up with a tray of shots, and so we all took one because it was Christmas and we felt like it
sure.
made sense at the time. But like, if you had to do that, what would your call be? Like vodka? Would you be like, are you a tequila girl?
I don't drink liquor.
Nothing.
No.
So you would just take it and then be like, put it down.
Yeah. Or give it to
your
one of the
drummer.
guys.
Give it to Mike.
Give it to Mike. Mikey likes it. You remember that commercial? I think
Yeah,
that was
of
the
course I do.
80s. Mikey likes
Yeah.
it.
That kid went to my high school.
Yeah. Did he?
Yeah, apparently, yeah. It's the Gilchrist brothers, and apparently they went to my school up in New Rochelle.
Really?
He got that.
Do you know, in New York, in one of my first bands, we had two girls. Our band was called Catfight, one of my very first bands, and we loved it because it was like, she did all of like the dance stuff, and I did more of like the Rage Against the Machine stuff. It was like good cop, bad cop. But she was actually the girl in the Underoos commercial. That I feel like Princess Leia and my Underoos, we were in a band together, and we're still
Hey,
friends.
did you do a Halloween show, by the way? Did you guys wear costumes?
In New York, not here.
Not down here?
No.
Because we used to do Halloween shows, and we used to get dressed up for it.
Oh, I love Halloween.
And it's
My
like some
favorite.
of it was fun, like superheroes.
Yeah.
One year where we were super villains.
Yeah.
I could see you could be great as a cop, like you said, good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
I could see you as a cop, like one of those Chips motorcycle cops.
I did. I went down to Venice when we moved here. Did you ever see that picture?
Maybe that's what I saw.
Was it the Cher costume?
Might have been or something.
Yeah, I put myself in the Turn Back Time Cher's costume and went down to Venice. We weren't playing, but just went out.
Dude, she just sang recently on Saturday Night Live, I think.
I saw it.
Unbelievable, right?
Yeah.
That lady.
They
What is she,
broke
like
her-
80 and she still looks
I
good and
think
sounds
she's
good?
like 82.
Damn.
Yeah, they broke her balls though. I think she was lip singing one of the songs and maybe the second. But she's 82. She's
You know what?
Cher.
I give him a pass. When you get to be that
Exactly.
old, I give people a pass. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying?
She's an icon. She can do whatever she wants.
Speaking of concerts, what are some of your favorite concerts growing up? Let's go back in time now because you and I are from New York, right?
Yeah.
So I used to go to Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
I used to see a ton of shows down there. Used to go to the Beacon Theater.
Yes.
And then, New Jersey wasn't that far away to go to like, back then it was called the Brendan Byrne Arena. I don't know what it's called now.
Yeah.
Where the
Like
Devils
MetLife
played.
Stadium.
Yeah, and then the stadium shows like Bruce would play the stadiums,
Yeah.
right? What were some of your favorite shows growing up?
My favorite show. So my musical tastes are so varied and all over the place. It's frightening. But my very first concert ever was Meatloaf. And I was 3. My mom said I could repeat that album back and forth and rack a pool table by the age of 3. So that was the first.
Oh my
But
God. Do you do Paradise by the Dashboard Light?
we don't, but that's the song that got me in my first
You
band.
have to figure out, it's a difficult song to play. You got to do it live, Jenna.
You think so?
Just take your
It's
time,
like-
work on it, like chip away at it. The crowd will go insane.
Yeah. I mean, I
We're gonna
love
go all the way
song.
tonight. We're gonna go all the way tonight.
Yeah.
Do you have a male that can sing in your band?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's definitely something to consider, but that was the first song that got me into a band originally. I got pulled up on stage to sing with somebody in Hunter Mountain, and I sang the girl part, and that's what got me into a band. But I've seen Meatloaf. Me and my husband have, I think, our all-time favorite. We love Government Mule, so we have gone
Yeah,
to the
man.
Beacon
They're awesome.
every year for New Year's when we were in New York.
Yeah.
My cousin is his music publisher. So we've got to go backstage on New Year's Eve and hang out with Warren and his wife and everything. So those, are exceptional. Iron Maiden concert, forget about it. One of the most explosive, greatest concerts I've ever seen. And then if you remember, I don't know how long you've been out here, but like when we used to have the dysfunctional family picnic in Jersey, that might have just been like a New York thing, but like they would have just like mixed. We saw Ozzy and Pantera, and they would have Wu-Tang and Rage Against the Machine. It was just like everybody, like concerts like that. I just love. I mean, I've seen so much music. I don't know if I could nail down what my favorite is.
There's a lot of good shows that come through Tampa. So recently I saw Metallica, Metallica is phenomenal. I saw them in a stadium.
Yeah.
They played 2 nights. They did a Friday and a Sunday. I went on Sunday. I couldn't believe how good it was. But a couple weeks before that, it was like my birthday present. I think somebody took me to AC/DC
Okay.
at Raymond James. Again, I went in with low expectations. I couldn't believe how good it was.
Yeah.
So, just like we were spoiled, I think, in the New York, New Jersey area, There's a lot of great shows that come through Florida.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so let me add to that then. I take that back. Me and my husband went to see The Cure last year or the year before out in Tampa. I cried.
The Cure, wow.
I cried.
That's
It was just like I've waited my whole life to see them, and I never got to see them.
They have such good hits, man.
Oh my God.
Is that guy still alive?
Amazing. One of their members just passed away last week. I think it was their synth player, actually. But yeah, he's alive and singing, and it was just fantastic. It was amazing.
You know, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame show was just on TV recently.
Yes, I watched it.
I saw it too. Yeah, it was pretty impressive, right?
Yeah.
I've been to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Have you ever gone out there?
No.
It's pretty cool. So it's a guided tour museum. So like you'll start off and they'll bring you through the history of rock, how rock started, and you go into different rooms and stuff. It's pretty cool.
I would love to see it.
Yeah, it's definitely like a mecca. You have to go there once a year, once in your lifetime. You have to go to see it.
Yeah.
Because it's very well done, well produced. But then they put these concerts on. So bands are getting inducted. Now it's kind of weird how like they'll have hip hop and rap into a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's kind of weird how that to me rock and roll is rock and roll. But I guess it's, you know, they want to make it inclusive to everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I kind of said the same. You know, when I look, and I don't know if it matters because I'm a huge rap fan. You know, that's what Wu-Tang is one of my favorite. I could recite the whole album from 1994. Ask anybody.
Do you do a rap song in your concert? In your current?
We did once. We did Walk This Way. We didn't learn it. We did it on the fly. But I would love to bring it back. I want to do like Salt and Pepper. I used to do it in my old band.
What a man, what a man,
Yeah.
what a man, what a man, a good man, right?
Yeah, well, that's more 90s, but I think we'd go with like Push It or something like that.
Push
Like,
it
these are
real
great
good.
songs. Nina Cherry,
That
Buffalo
would be fun.
Stance.
Oh, you know what you do? You got to sit down and take some planning, but you got to mash them all up, man, and just do
Yeah. Like a rap mashup
Yeah,
from the 80s
right.
because there was some good rap music back
no
then.
doubt.
Yeah, but I can see why.
I bet you
They
if you
were brought in.
Google that on YouTube, search it on YouTube, you'll find a band somewhere that has something up there that you can kind of look at. Say, okay, I see what they're doing. Like you get ideas.
Yeah.
You know, like I saw a really cool Billy Joel guy that did like all the, you know, there's the old Joel and there's the 80s Joel, right? There's
Like Step Brothers.
Yeah.
He's like, sir,
yeah,
we're only doing 80s,
Right.
Joel.
because there was a big 70s Joel,
Yeah.
which people love, right? And then like I guess they don't do that, and it got ugly. Remember?
Yeah. Well, I like the like 85 Joel as well. So
Do you remember when Billy Joel's album came out? I Love You Just the Way You Are is on that. And
I love that song.
what was the name of that record, God? It was such a big record. It was like everybody had it, and it was on every radio station.
Is it the one where he's wearing the white suit on the cover?
WPLJ 95.5. Remember that station?
Yeah.
102.7.
Yeah. I remember Z100.
Yeah.
Yeah. I won many a concert ticket from them back in the day.
Dennis Elsis, Scott Muni. 102.7 was like Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
It was the Stones. It was
104.
that stuff. And at nighttime, it got like FM, like different, like older cuts, man. Like they would play like Physical Graffiti and things that weren't commercial. Because I think back then, the DJs had the ability to pick their own songs.
Yeah.
As opposed to today, where everything is all AI and it's all like there's tons and tons of
It's
research.
just rotated.
They spit out songs that they know will market and
Yeah.
sell products.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan. I listen to like Amazon music and just pick what I want to hear on the weekend. I really, you know, the newer like dance music just doesn't do it.
So when
for
you're in
me.
your car driving around town, what are you listening to?
What am I listening to? My playlist is very unique. Like I said, it can go anywhere from Donna Summer to Kenny Rogers to Rage Against the Machine to Pantera.
So are you
just
working? Are you working your
depends.
iPod? Are you then working your iPhone, or are you on a satellite situation where you're just flipping different satellite stations?
We have satellite in our car, but I have like all my own playlists. Like music. Let me just say this: music is so important to me in my life that every song that I pick on a playlist is associated with a memory. So like this year I'm writing a book and it's called The Mixtape Memoirs because I can physically, any song that I listen to is attached to a memory. So that's why my playlist is so all over the place, I think, and why I listen to so many different things because I have such strong feelings about music and about songs. And that's why I pick the songs that I do in my band also. It's not just what's going to go over. There's songs that personally mean something to me, bring back a memory from the 80s. I think the nicest compliment I ever received was from Tracy Zito, and she said, "You sing with such passion." And I think that was the nicest thing that anybody ever said, not about my voice or my stage presence or whatever, just that you can see the passion that I put into these songs. That's because music is so important to me. There is a soundtrack to my life from as little as 3 up until now, of just different memories associated with different songs. So that's why I think my playlist is so varied, and it would just depend on the mood I'm in and what
So
memory.
happy playlist, sad playlist, romantic playlist, Italian
Yeah.
cooking, fun stuff around the house. Like
Oh, Sunday's Kenny Rogers Day when I cook.
I have this. There was this Mob Hits CD that came out a long time ago, and you can't find it anymore. And plus, nobody has CDs anymore. So I recreated it. I
Yeah.
found out what those songs were, and I found them, and I brought them down, from the cloud, and I got them. So I have if I'm cooking,
Yeah.
I play all these funny Italian songs.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 like all that stuff.
It's brilliant. But see, so music is important to you as well. There's never a time in my house when music is off.
Yeah,
That
man, like,
radio's on all
I
day.
basically fall asleep to music now.
Same.
You know what I'm saying? There's certain songs that I know if I put it on, it's gonna knock me out.
Yeah.
And then I listen to other things too. Like I listen to the sound of rain, or I listen to like a babbling brook. So I'm using, you can call that music, I guess, but it's therapeutic, man.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? There's nothing better than unwinding to something like that.
Yeah.
You ever get a massage and they play that Indian flute
Oh, yeah.
music, and then I'm like, what was that? And the lady's like, oh, it's the CD, So I would buy that stuff, and I would put it on my house and I would listen to it,
Yeah.
and it would just totally chill me.
Yeah. What's your favorite band right now? What are you
So,
listening to?
so I'm going to talk to you about 80s. So I'm going to go with my favorite 80 bands first.
Okay.
So I love Van Halen. And if I had my way right now, I'd be in a Van Halen tribute band.
Really?
Yeah, I'd be the Michael Anthony, the bass player.
Okay.
Because I think Van Halen is such an important part of my life, and is such a part of rock and roll. Because Eddie Van Halen, nobody saw anything like him. He was an innovator.
Yeah.
And when he came out, I think that first album, I want to say 79, 78, 77. That's when that stuff came out.
Yeah.
Van Halen 1, Van Halen 2. And I mean, do you remember certain albums when you put it on as a kid and you were like, holy shit. It was like a wow moment.
Yeah.
Like when I heard Eruption into You Really Got Me, and him going, ring, 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 and I'm in my parents' basement and I'm a kid. I'm just a teenager. Maybe I was sneaking a beer at that point in my life,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And it totally made, it was the transition from Kurt to K-Rock. A lot of it had to do with Van Halen, because David Lee Roth was cool. He partied. We want to party. We want to get the chicks.
Yeah.
He was the ultimate front man.
What'd you think of Sammy?
So when Van Halen broke up because Dave's ego just got so huge, his head exploded, and rightfully so. I mean, the guy was a talent. MTV loved him. Dave TV, remember that? Just a gigolo.
I do. Yeah.
Everywhere I go. That, Crazy from the Heat. So he just he went nuts. So they had to replace him. So they couldn't have picked a better guy than Sammy Hagar. Actually, it was Ben Hagar. Sammy Hagar, to me, was the perfect guy to go there, because I was also a Sammy fan.
Yeah.
And Sammy's original stuff and his early stuff was fantastic. So when he joined Van Halen, the first couple of albums were like, OMG.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts about that? Did you think were you one of those Roth guys who were like, oh man, only Roth?
No.
Or did you accept Sammy?
Because
there's two schools.
Not a Van Halen fan until Sammy joined. I did not enjoy Van Halen. But you also have to look, we're talking about, age-wise back then, how old I was when it came out, female versus what, the guys were listening to back then. But Sammy, little known, he is my my hall pass. So he's like my one celebrity crush still to this day.
Very
Sammy
cool.
Hagar.
So have you seen him recently?
I have.
He's an ageless wonder.
I still love him.
He looks good. He sounds good, man. He can
Yeah.
still hit the notes. In fact, he's playing out in MGM doing a residency out in Vegas. He sold the tequila. Then he got the rum. I think he sold the rum. The guy is like a multi-millionaire.
Yeah.
And one of my bucket list things is to go to Cabo Wabo at Cabo San Lucas, because he does his annual birthday bash, and tickets are almost impossible to get.
Okay.
And to go see that would be
Well,
crazy.
let me know if you go. My husband won't let me go because he's my celebrity crush. So.
All right. So I'm going to throw out some 80s bands, and you tell me what your thoughts are real quick, little
Okay.
short sets. Pat Benatar.
Love.
Now, I got to admit, MTV, remember it was all Madonna and Pat Benatar?
Yeah.
So women, I think young girls had these idols, excuse me, that perhaps they didn't have before.
Yeah.
Like Madonna set the table for a lot of women.
Oh, yeah.
And then Pat Benatar was like the first rock chick, man. Don't you remember? I remember girls in school. Now, I went to an all-boys school, but down the street was the girls' school. And they're dressing like Pat Benatar, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, with her, like, her
Yes,
bandanas.
and the
and
bandana and
Yeah.
the winged eyeliner.
I mean, she
and
was huge.
She had an
for the
incredible
culture.
voice. She's still incredible to this day. Her vocals still hold up. I
Me and
mean,
Leap and Larry went and saw her at Van Wezel.
And what'd you think?
We couldn't believe how good she was.
Yeah.
And she's smart because she doesn't, you know, when those high notes,
Yeah.
she brings it down. So she knows how to like still sing
Yeah.
without having to kill herself.
Oh, her stuff is high. I am not anywhere near
Okay,
covering
Cyndi
Pat
Lauper.
Benatar. Cindy, I think I gave you a picture of me and Cindy. So I got to meet Cyndi Lauper, my mom and my stepdad. Do you remember the Ritz in Manhattan?
Yes.
So they worked there. So they got me in for the Cyndi Lauper show. I think I was in the 2nd grade. I sent you a picture. It's really cute. And I got to go backstage and hang out with her. And I was dressed just like her. And her mom watched me while she was performing because my parents were working. My dad was a bouncer there. And I think my mom was a cocktail waitress. Love Cyndi Lauper. When she came out, I was young and I was just wowed. And I dressed like her. I sang Time After Time for my 3rd grade talent show. But what I love most about her, and if you watched the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame last week, she was inducted. And her speech I thought was so beautiful and so important when she was talking about, the younger generation of singers like Chapel Rowan, that she said she made her way by standing on the shoulders of other women and that her shoulders are broad enough to carry the next generation of women, which I thought was just
that's
so
cool.
gives me goosebumps,
Yeah.
like
I mean,
women helping women.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, Madonna set the table, as I said earlier. Lady Gaga, I think, took it to the next level.
Oh, yeah. I
Right?
think she's brilliant.
What are your thoughts on Taylor Swift?
Personally, music-wise, it's not my choice. I think there's a couple of bangers that she put out that might be in rotation, but I think that she is smart. I think she knows how to market herself. I think if she writes her songs, I'm not sure who writes them. I think they did it well. For her market, they are marketable songs. They're catchy songs. Is it my musical preference? No,
Would you go to one of her concerts?
no,
Even if someone gave you a ticket?
absolutely not.
Okay.
Just
See-
because I don't want to be in a stadium of, screaming 15-year-olds.
I know. But here's the thing. I agree with that 100%, but I would still go just to see it with my own eyes and feel it, right? Because the production value is insane, I bet.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, I got a chance to go to the Grammys 2 years in a row because I knew a big shot at CBS. One of the years Taylor played. Well, she was there both years. But one year she played, and the girl really can play. I mean, she played piano and guitar, and she truly is an artist. Like,
talented.
and I believe she does write a lot of her own songs.
Yeah.
Like all the things about, teenage angst and all this, like, we're never getting back together, like shit like that became anthems
That's right.
for young girls,
That's
right?
what sells. The young girls are sitting home and listening to their songs.
So
while
now
they're
let's
going
step it up
through
to some 70s. So like, what are your thoughts on the Stones?
I like them. I'm not like the hugest fan. I think again, talent that just goes decades and decades and decades.
Could you say they're the greatest rock and roll band on the planet?
No.
Who would you put in that slot? The greatest rock and roll band of all time?
Based on facts or just my personal opinion? Because I
Well, both.
absolutely like
Well, I want to hear your personal opinion first.
my favorite band in the entire world is Government Mule. Warren Haynes is just timeless and all of that kind of stuff. I think that if he was alive, Prince was one of the greatest musicians and performers of all time. But the
Well-
greatest rock and roll band?
Like a 4-piece, 3, 4, 5-piece band.
I mean, you'd probably have to give it to the Stones just because of the longevity and talent, but I'm not, a huge fan. So
Well, there's other bands in there. I mean, they kind of stopped playing, but Kiss. You can't discount Kiss. You may not
Yeah.
like Kiss.
no, I
You
like
may,
Kiss.
but because I always ask this question to people, musicians that sit there. I say, "What do you think of Kiss?" Kiss to me was very important to
Yeah.
rock and roll because we needed Kiss.
Yeah.
You may not care for their theatrics, you may not care for their songwriting or their music, but I think that they inspired a whole lot of people.
Absolutely.
Just like the Beatles inspired people, and then you had all those bands like Kiss, and so here's another one, man. This is a big one, Led Zeppelin.
I love Led Zeppelin. My husband is a huge Led Zeppelin fan. Led Zeppelin, The Doors, that's definitely on rotation on his playlist. Our wedding song was "Thank You" by Led Zeppelin, but we walked into our wedding to Iron Maiden. So, like, that's what I'm saying.
That's
My
cool.
musical tastes are all
So
over
you're
the
all over the
place.
board.
Yeah.
And then finally, we can't talk about this without talking about Michael Jackson. I mean, you got to put my MJ. I wasn't a fan at the time.
Yeah.
Because I was into different things, but now I'm older and looking back on what he did and how he influenced the world. The world.
Yeah. He
I mean,
did.
he truly was the king of pop. I mean,
Yeah.
if Elvis was the king of rock, I guess you could say MJ was the king of pop.
Yeah, totally. I'm not a huge MJ fan.
Don't you remember Thriller when Thriller came out?
I do. I
Oh
had
my
the pocketbook.
God.
I
Do you remember that record, how big that was?
Yeah.
Every song was a freaking hit.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that album, but again, after that, like, it starts trailing off. Like, I just feel like sometimes people did their best work and then they keep going and it just doesn't
I
sit with
know.
me. It doesn't
Certain bands,
resonate
yeah.
with me.
Other great records, Rumors, Fleetwood Mac, Rumors.
Yeah.
Every song on that thing is awesome. AC/DC Back in Black, I think, was one of the biggest selling records of all time.
Yeah.
I think the Eagles' greatest hits are up there. There's like a list.
I love the
You can
Eagles.
Google it. And they'll say like Thriller. I think Mariah Carey's in that list.
I wouldn't.
It's incredible how and Garth Brooks. I'm not a big Garth Brooks fan by any means, but when he came out, man, that was insanity. What he did in the '90s,
Yeah.
selling out arenas, stadiums, Central Park. Then he
Yeah.
goes away for a couple of years, comes back, is just as big.
Yeah. He's a legend.
Do you like country music at all?
Not per se. I don't think I ever listened to country. I enjoy Southern rock, clearly, right? If Warren's my favorite, I like Southern rock, like Leonard Skinner.
Well, then
Stuff
you gotta like the
that.
Almonds because
Chris
he was in the
Stapleton.
Almonds for a
I
while.
love the Almonds. I love Chris Stapleton. I didn't really listen to country music until I moved to Florida. And then I got like a little taste of it. Like, I think one of the first country songs I heard was like Chicken Fried. And I was like, this is fantastic. Like, was I missing this living in, Manhattan? That maybe I should have been listening to some country. So it's grown on me since I've been out here. But I do love Stapleton, but I don't know if he's more like country. I love Jelly Roll. I think Jelly Roll is fantastic. But that's
Did you
more
see what
like
he looks like
the
lately?
Amazing.
He lost like 200 pounds or something crazy.
Amazing.
Yeah, good for him.
Yeah, good for him. And a good role model to kids from where he came from. He has a rough
There's a story
background.
there.
Yeah. Yeah, I enjoy him and his wife Bunny. I watch their podcasts and stuff. She has a funny podcast called the Dumb Blonde Podcast.
So to let our viewers know, what do you like to do for your hobbies and interests, things outside of music? What do you do when you're not performing?
When I'm not performing, well, I love music. We love traveling. We cruise probably like 4 times a year. Matter of fact, we're going on a cruise next week.
You and my sisters, for some reason, I don't know, is it a female thing? I don't know. It seems like women love to cruise. I mean, guys go along because we get to eat and drink like kings, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know, man. It's just, there's something about it. Is it like exotic?
Well, you
You
get
go to locations,
travel,
right?
yeah, to
Cancun
locations.
or wherever, Mexico, wherever the hell you're
Right.
going, right?
Well, I'm gonna go 9
Cozumel.
days. Oh yeah, we've been there tons of times. We go 9 days, and you don't have to drive anywhere. You can have your cocktails and not worry about drinking and driving. You got entertainment, you have food, and you can see like 3 or 4 different places and not be stuck there. So
You on
we
some of those
love
bigger
it.
ships?
Oh yeah,
Because there was one when I was so big, it was insane.
yeah. I like the smaller ships, but we've been on the bigger one, and I tend to like the smaller ones.
But here's what I learned. I've only been on 2 cruises. I don't ever want to go on a cruise again with children. Not that I have nothing against children, but it gets to a point where you can't even go to the pool because it's out of control.
Yeah, and they're like in the hot tub and stuff. I don't have children, so I don't personally want to travel.
Yeah, I
with
want to go to
children.
like an adults only.
Yeah.
Preferably like a singles kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Carnival is doing that now. They're having like adult only, like no kids cruises. But we'll go. There was like a couple of the boats that have like an adult section, and that's where we stay. Again, nothing against kids. I don't.
What about cooking? You like to cook? Or
I
any
love to
any
cook.
favorite things you like to do?
Oh yeah, I love to cook. I cook almost every night. Um, yeah, it's one of my favorite things. I cook for so many people.
Any particular
holiday.
dishes that you're known for?
I am known for my Christmas brisket.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's good. It just falls apart. I just made that this Christmas. I love making Italian food. Yeah, I love cooking. Whenever we have folks over our house for any holiday, there's no less than 30 people. I just had my 50th birthday party, and I think we had 100 people at the house, and I refused to get catering. I said no, I will do all the cooking, and I cooked
Good for you.
for
You know what?
100 guests.
That's such a New York thing.
Yeah.
And Italians like it. I know you're not Italian,
Part.
but like Italians, for some reason, they can't sit down. Like they have to, like even when it's like, I went over a friend's house and his wife's like making stuff, and I'm like, please let me help, let me serve, let me clean up, let me.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like they want complete control over their kitchen.
Yeah, 100%. Do not come in my kitchen. I do not need help. I'm good.
Because you're having fun. Like they don't realize it, but you're having fun doing that. Like that's what you want to do.
Yeah, it's my therapy.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like cooking and feeding others.
Absolutely. That's how I show my love. Food is my love language.
But also us New Yorkers, man, we take our food seriously. Like I met Floridians that just like they're not like foodies, like because we know what good pizza is, we know what good Chinese takeout is.
Oh, yeah.
You know what a good sauce is, right?
Oh, yeah.
You certainly meatballs are like and New Yorkers, I think we have a tendency we're spoiled, like bagels even. Like I can't eat a bagel unless it's like a New York style bagel. I
Yeah.
can't go to like Dunkin' Donuts and eat a bagel.
No, I have not found a bagel to date out here. I did find good pizza near us, but the girl that
Where?
owns
Tell me.
the Pink Fire
I've heard of this place.
in Northport, the woman that owns it is from Jersey. I don't know how she does it, but you got to come down our way and check it out.
Is it electric oven or is it a gas or wood?
I haven't gone in to pick it up. My husband will pick it up, but I've spoke to them. I think it has to be like gas, but the closest that I've come to like the New York dough and crust, and their sauce is phenomenal. You have to check them out. I love them.
Good. I mean, we got a bunch of places in Sarasota and Bradenton that are New York style. You know what I'm saying? But there's different types of New York style. For an example, this place. In Harlem, Patsy's.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, my best friend Stephen Arles, his grandmother Carmela used to own that for many, many, many years.
Really?
She got sick, she got older, and they sold it. So then Stephen's mom was the one that sold it because she inherited it, so she sold it. And a Greek guy moved in there, took it over, and he does it right. He's keeping it good. Prices are still reasonable.
Yeah.
Once a year they do that 1892 sale or something like that, where like everything's 18 cents.
Oh, I don't know. We lived right near
Yeah, they
Patsy's,
do like
but
one
I
day a
didn't
year.
eat
You
there.
can get a slice for like pennies on the dollar because it's like the anniversary of when they moved in
Oh, the
there.
owner? Yeah.
The original.
Long time restaurant.
But that pizza's insane.
Yeah.
Coal fired.
Yeah. Yes.
And
I'm
it comes
very
out of the oven
impressed.
really fast.
Yeah.
I mean, they put your order in and it's ready in literally 3 or 4 minutes. It's out.
Did you ever get to go to Rayo's?
Yeah, of course.
I never got into Rayo's.
So it's overrated. Here's the deal with Rayo's. I went twice, and both times I went with a friend who knew somebody. Knew somebody. But we had to wait because we didn't get the first seating. We had to wait till that people got up.
Right.
Because those tables are like your table. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Stay there all night. So once that table got up, we had access to that table. So we had to wait the whole night to do that. So we got nice and drunk at the bar. But the cool is the owner was there at the time. The guy, he was in The Sopranos,
Yeah.
that guy, played an FBI guy. They basically come up and say, this is what we got and this is what you're going to get.
Right.
There's no menu, right? But everything was delicious. But you know what? It's also overrated because I think that there's so many good I mean, you might even be good enough to say like, hey, I make a better sauce. I make a better eggplant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
the mystique of it. It's
that's
like,
right.
because it's hard to get
That's
in
right.
there.
Exactly.
And then one night, one of my friends was in there one night many years ago and he saw Jim Carrey. So that was kind of cool that you can see celebrities there. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. We lived 2 blocks away, and I used to go and like walk the dog over there, hoping like in my head that one day like somebody would come out and be like, "We see you walk the dog here every day. Like you want to come in and eat?" Never happened in 4 years.
Talk about exclusivity, right?
Really?
Damn.
Yeah. And I had friends that got in there, but yeah, it's like, you have to know somebody and get at their table. I make my own
Where were you
sauce.
during 9/11?
I was actually home. I was going that morning for an audition to be an MTV VJ.
Come on.
Swear.
Every time I talk to you, some new stuff pops up I didn't know about you.
Yeah, and I overslept. That one caught me off guard. Very emotional. My mom called me. I was in my apartment, and we still had answering machines back then. And she's like, "Jenna, like, did you leave yet? For the city?" And I didn't even wake up. And I called her back, and that was when the first plane hit. And then we were watching it together, and the second plane hit. I was still living in Staten Island at that time, but what a terrible time. I lost 7 of my friends in 9/11. It was a really terrible time for the city, a really great time of loss. And I'm not sure if you know, but like after 9/11, I became a funeral director. I was an embalmer in New York for
Yeah,
10
I knew that
years.
about you. But I don't
And,
think our listeners know that about you.
Yeah, I spent 10 years
Let's tell
as
them. How'd you get into that?
Well, I went to school to be a funeral director after my father passed away. And then that was part of the reasons that I left. So after
No, but like, what
9/11,
made you go to that school? You know what I'm saying, like, why would you get involved in embalming people? Was it just too much money to be like? Was it like, or did you just happen to be interested in that kind of stuff?
well, I've always been interested in forensics. That was eventually, where originally I wanted to go with my career was into like forensic psychology. But after my dad passed away, and he passed away he passed away at my age. I didn't have a good experience at his funeral. I remember going in to see him in the casket. It did not look like him. The only thing that was recognizable was his hands. And something in me said, like, I could do this better. Like for people, like I don't want anybody to feel like this. And I put my ass in funeral
Good for
school,
you, man.
like,
Look,
right
you know what
after.
that tells me, man? That tells me that you got a huge heart.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, that just shows your character, the kind of person you are. Like, you don't want this experience to happen to other people, so you're gonna go
Yeah.
ahead and you're gonna rectify it. You're gonna fix it. That's brilliant.
Yeah. Well, I think my mom used to say that, like, be the change that you wanna see in the world, if you wanna
I like that.
it's
Why don't you
great.
put that on your Facebook?
I think that well, the description of me that's on my Facebook, I think I put up there, like, 10 years ago
I know,
because
but look, guys like me are like investigating, doing my homework for the show, and I'm like, that's what I saw.
let's put that in context. I am not a declared rock star. I said I am a rock star who takes multivitamins, which is a joke because like I was in a band and I'd be taking my vitamins and I also went to school for Ayurveda and things like this. And I'm a bit hood, I'm a bit namaste. That's just a New York thing. I'm sure you're the same too. Like I have a big heart, and I'm very peaceful, but
But
I also
you can snap. You can go. You can throw down if you have to.
that's right.
Yeah,
So that's like, and I
that's the thing
also
about New York is you have to be ready. Like
right.
I'm a really fun, loving guy, but I can fuck somebody up if I have to.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
not that I ever want to,
right.
but if somebody attacks me, I'm gonna go ape shit.
Right, and I was also living in the hood at the time, so that made sense because I was teaching meditation in the hood. So I also had a company called Buddha the Barrio.
And
So
I'm sure you lived in a nice part of Harlem, but Harlem is still Harlem. I mean, it's Manhattan is Manhattan. I mean, it's like it's not
yeah,
safe.
it was wild over there, but I'm a New York City girl. I've lived in every single borough. I was born in the Bronx, born in Manhattan, but the Bronx. I lived in every borough.
Some of the best Italian food is in the Bronx.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Arthur Avenue,
yeah, I used to go to the
Old
Bronx all the
Italy.
time. My mother and I used to go to Arthur Avenue, and I remember the bread was so good that we'd eat it in the car. Like we would actually eat it on the way home
Oh
because you
God,
didn't
yeah.
need any butter or oil. You just eat it like rah, 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 rah.
Oh yeah, I miss good bread. I do. Yeah.
So now let's talk about the women who rock the Suncoast.
Mm,
So I'm going to start off by saying that
beautiful.
I had
event.
this idea of getting all the female rockers together because of this show
Yeah.
and because of Jacked Up and because I'm like, you know what? I know people. I can make a few phone calls, right? Boom, 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 boom. And then you brought in some people. We'll talk about that. So my first idea was like, let's just do a really cool photograph. So I hired a professional photographer and she did a good job. I mean, it was like herding cats, right? Getting you guys all in the same spot, remember?
Well, I'm just gonna laugh because I'm like, again, like the class clown. I'm laughing in every single picture, and that's
Yeah, you
because
are.
me and Lisa are like hysterical in the background, like we're in high school. So,
Yeah.
other than that, the picture came out
But
great.
it had a high school feel to it, right?
It
Didn't
totally
You know what
did.
I'm saying? Like everybody had to put their number up. Like
Yeah,
your number.
yeah.
It's
We were
like-
getting picked to like move around. That's what we were laughing about actually, because Lisa, Hayden, and I were like some of the tallest there, and we all had our name and our number up, and people were just getting like picked off the line. Like, are we next to like go to the bottom and have to sit down? So
I think what she was simply trying to put the big girls up top
yeah,
and the smaller girls down.
yeah.
But then some of it got mixed up. But nonetheless, Maria Lyle did a great job.
She did a great
Excuse
job.
me. Let me just get rid of this. So the premise was that I'm going to do this photograph to promote or not maybe not promote, but just bring awareness and
Mhm.
prevention to breast cancer. Because I lost my mom
Yes.
and everything that I do is in her honor, right? So I had the network, I had the skill set. I'm like, let me organize this. I put it together, photograph. So I was just going to stop at that, like the
Yeah.
photograph, and we were going to use it to remind women, look, all these rockers are coming together to remind you to go get your self-exam, go get your mammogram, whatever.
Yep.
So then Teresa Ferris, I got to give her credit. She called me up one day and she's like, a little accent, there, K-Rock, in her southern drawl that, you should put together a concert. I was like, you know what? Maybe she's right. So I moved really fast and we got
Yeah,
the
you did.
space. Then I had a couple girls, Julia Brown and Phoenix 5,
Yeah.
Phoenix Gonzalez. We got together, got all the songs together, sat with the band, make sure that they could play these songs, gave them 2 weeks to work on it.
Yeah.
My biggest concern was the band wasn't necessarily going to take it seriously because they have other things going on in their lives, but
Of
they
course.
did.
They did a great job.
And they did a great job.
Fantastic.
Shout out to Wayne, the band leader.
Yeah.
And Todd Adams. Well, all of them actually. I mean, I
Yeah.
can name them all, but nonetheless, I guess the highlight of the evening for me, and again, I'd like to hear your opinion next, is that all these women came together. Half of them didn't even know each other. I mean, I remember Sammy Joe was sitting by herself because no one knew her. And she was like, Jezebel.
Yeah.
And she was quiet, and then Dana came in, she's all loud, DCX,
Yeah.
And so it was like women started being friendly with each other, exchanging phone numbers. By the end of the night, everybody was like buddies.
Oh, absolutely.
So what are your thoughts on it?
I have so many thoughts on that. I think, and I know you talk about the event on your podcast, but I just want to make sure that you truly understand what a beautiful thing you did and like how grateful I am. And I know that you did it to honor your mother. I know you know that I also lost my mother to breast cancer. Um, Prior to that event, my sister was just diagnosed with stage 0. I told you that when you called me, and I was like, "Oh, what timing?" And then what you didn't know was that at the day of the event, I had found a lump and had went for my testing the day before and was waiting for my test to come back the next day. So I was like, "What are the odds that we're here?" But putting all of that aside, what you did for women that do not have the funds to get the testing that they need was just so remarkable. And I'm forever grateful for being a part of it. I'm grateful to you that you even did that. I mean, you have such a big heart. You really do. I mean, I've known you a while. You have a big heart, and that was tremendous. Putting aside all of the great things that you did for the community, what you did for us women, oh my God. I mean, the natural law of reaction, or I don't know if that's what I would call it. Everybody's going to assume that we're a bunch of,
Divas.
divas in the cat house, and we're gonna walk in, and nobody's gonna get along. You brought together women from all over the Southwest Florida area, women that have been playing here for so long with like deep roots in the community, along with us new folks, and we just bonded over a shared cause for women like ourselves. There were no egos. And you gave us all an opportunity to sit down and talk and meet when we probably wouldn't, because we're either playing or people make preconceived notions of other female musicians, and may not reach out to you. I got to meet so many folks there. I mean, I know Dana and Julia and Roxanne and women like that. But, I had never had an opportunity to meet Renee. I never had an opportunity to meet Kristen or Malu. And these are women that
Twinkle.
Twinkle. Yeah, I got to meet her briefly. She's talks to everyone. So I only got like a second of her time. But just, to be able to sit down and go, wow, this is amazing that women got together to help women. And it was all because of you.
And you know what? The music is the common denominator here. I mean, like everybody loves to sing.
Yeah.
And I guess there was and the night started, everybody was a little nervous. There's a little tension. But then as it went and you guys were all clapping for each other, it started getting looser and looser. Next thing you know, everybody's laughing, dancing. Then the next thing you know, the girls are like, I want to sing another one. And then next thing you know, there's collaborations.
Yeah.
So like it got to a point where me and Mike Zimmerman actually, I looked at him, he looked at me. So at the end of the night, you're singing What's Up? You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
And you guys were like, it was incredible. It was a sisterhood. It was a
Yeah.
sorority. Like you guys were all kids again. And
Yeah.
you're up there smiling and giggling, high-fiving each other. You got your arms on each other, doing all this.
Yeah.
And you guys walked in as strangers and you left as like this unit of like sisters. You know what I'm saying?
It was a really fun moment. I hope that you do it again. I would love to be a part of
Well,
it.
here's a scoop.
What?
In April, I'm thinking about doing another one in April. It'll be 6 months. And then I'll do it again in October. So what I'm trying to do is every 6 months, bring all the women of the Suncoast who rock together and have a proper 501c3 cause that we like. For this one was the Beautiful Gate.
Yeah.
Miss Pamela, she was there. And it was wonderful because she came and showed up. And I remember I gave her the microphone and she had a chance to address the room. And she was blown away because I'm a stranger to her. And I handed her a check for a good amount of money and she couldn't believe it. She's like, to this day, we're friends. And we talked because that bus. So people are reaching out to me behind the scenes, and I can't mention certain names and whatnot, obviously,
Of
but
course.
they're asking me how they can get mammograms. Like I'm like becoming the point person. So I'll reach out to Miss Pamela. That bus does come back here, but there's also hospitals they can go to.
Yeah.
It's designed for women that either A, don't have insurance, B, maybe they don't have transportation.
Yeah.
Maybe they have a disability. So the cool thing about the van, and wait till you guys see it, because you know what I should do? I should have it there. The next time we do a concert, I should have it in the parking lot.
Yeah.
because it's hospital grade equipment. These, that's on this thing where people can go on, sign up in advance, you go on, get your exam, and you get the results. Now,
Yeah.
there might be women afraid, like maybe you can answer this to our listeners. What advice would you be to somebody who is like, I'm afraid to go get a mammogram because if I have it, I'm scared I might have it. Like I don't want to go get a prostate exam because I might have, I'm like saying like, isn't that kind of weird?
I don't think you want to go because it's not fun.
Well, that too, but like, I think that the human mind is like, oh, I don't want to know. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
people don't want to know. But I think, when you interviewed Carrie last week, she is an actual breast cancer survivor. Um, I am a preventative person. I see a bump, I'm at the doctor. That's me. But that's because my mom didn't, right? So my mom's life could have been saved if she had done preventative care
Now, why do you suppose that she didn't do it? Like,
because she's afraid.
yeah.
Everybody's afraid of the
So how do
unknown.
we then, how do we tell women, how do we get women over that hump?
I think, I even heard Carrie was like, if you call me, like, I will take you. That's really what it is. You need support. I think people need to know the other side that these diseases are preventable and curable now, or at least be able to increase your lifespan. But the longer you wait, you're just making it worse. You're making something, where you could have had a chance if you have to get your mammograms. You have to, and you have to get your prostate exams.
Well, I do. I just use that as an example, but I do. I do because I have a history in my family, so I have to.
You got to do it.
But I guess how about this idea? How about we have a cocktail party for ladies, right? Martinis and pedicures and all that great stuff. And then as they're all socializing, they can one by one they can go get their mammogram out in the parking lot in this particular hospital graded bus.
Like a little pamper party and a preventative.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Tie
nice
it
for
all
the
in.
community. Yeah.
Because you don't get your results right away, right? That's like they don't tell you right away, do they?
They
On
will
the
tell you if they
mammogram?
need to bring you back in.
They can
So
see it right away.
that's
I mean, are they that? But isn't it like there has to be then a trained person on site to read that, right?
yeah. Well, I have mine done at SMH. Fortunately, my insurance is through them. But it's so funny just to go, back to what you were saying about this mammogram bus is for women that don't have the funds or the transportation. So if you look at somebody like my younger sister who moved out here, she does not have insurance in Florida. Her experience and my experience were two different things, and they were only 6 months apart. When we went for her mammogram and they said to her, "You have cancer," the panic immediately struck me because I said, "Holy shit, my sister doesn't have insurance. What am I going to do? This is not New York. She is not on Medicaid or Medicare. She already has a disability. She's already a cancer survivor, and she's younger than me. What do I do? Where do I take her?" So fortunately, there was a woman from back home who was connected with somebody out here and, got us all the information from Moffitt that has a great scholarship program. So does SMH for women that do not have insurance and underfunded. Um, but then for myself, I have insurance. So I just went to the hospital, had my test. They said, "Oh, we don't like what we see. We're going to send you in for an ultrasound." Everything was done in one day. My sister dragged out months. This is not right. So that's why I want you to know how even more important it was that you did that, just to even get the Beautiful Gates information out
Right.
that you were changing lives for underfunded women.
As were you guys. I think we all did our jobs because your performing made a statement. Like there was so much buzz about that it got picked up, in social circles, and we were so close to getting a news team out there from one of the local stations.
Yeah.
But what happened was this thing went down so fast. Like next year I'll plan it properly, so there'll be more hoopla. But I guess the important thing is that if Jenna's coming together with Julia and Dana and Kristen and Twinkle, that must be something. So that alone puts like, wait, what's going on? What is the Women of the Suncoast, right?
Yeah.
That alone is like would inspire people to then look further into it and be like, oh, it's about breast cancer. Oh, this stuff's free. Oh, here are the links right in front of me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I did a show prior to that about suicide prevention
Hmm.
because I'll always be somebody who works, in that mindset of trying to help people steer in a direction that if they need help, here are the resources.
Yeah.
Because I've lost friends to suicide. You may have as well.
Yeah.
It's a horrible thing. So those are the two things that mean a lot to me. And I will continue to use this forum to, and my voice to do what I got to do. You know what somebody said to me that was a compliment? They said to me, you've become not just a content creator, but you've become a community advocate.
Yeah.
And that's a nice compliment because I didn't think that my life would ever go that way, but it's going that way.
Yeah.
You know, I just thought of myself as a musician, a marketing guy who happens to play the bass, right? Now it's like, okay, I'm actually people that come up to me. I go to these festivals and people come up to me. They don't be like, "Oh, you're the jacked up guy, aren't you?" Now they're being like, "You're the podcast guy."
Yeah.
And this one lady was telling me all the podcast episodes that she saw, and she was like rattling them off, and I'm like, I have no idea who this woman is. And I'm like, so she's like, "I love your podcast. I wait
That's
for it every
great.
week. I wait for it." So I think what I'm going to do moving forward is continue to have interesting people like you,
Thank you.
different musicians, right? But then I'm going to start doing other things too, where I'm going to start bringing maybe like public service situations involved, maybe bringing in some community leaders. You know,
Yeah.
I always like to keep a couple things out of it. I keep politics out.
Yeah.
I keep religion out.
Hmm.
You know, the whole social, you know, he, she, you know, I, they, him,
Yeah.
that stuff. I keep that out. Just
Smart
you know,
man.
right.
Smart man. You're in marketing.
So,
You know better.
speaking of marketing, as we wrap up, all my guests now, especially the female guests, are getting a free jacked up ladies V-neck. It's in yellow
Well,
because
thank
we're
you.
in Florida. It's a sunshine state.
I like what you
I
did
don't
with
want
the
you
yellow.
I don't want you walking on the beach in black in the middle of summer. You're gonna melt. So this is like a little bit more beachy.
I love it. Yellow is one of my favorite colors, and that's why I said now Carrie and I will be twinning, but we have to get some for the other girls too.
Well, you know what? Some of your
Add it to
girls,
my
some of your
collection.
some of your crew, I'm calling your crew because like you have a crew now,
Yeah,
like
it's
Lisa, right?
it's the
And
Mr. Feeney Weenie
and
Club.
and it's like I'm trying to get these girls to come on. Tracy, right?
Ramona.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yes,
get them to come
Lisa.
on, but you know, it's tough sometimes because you know they have stuff going on. Like she's a doctor or she's like a what is she like
Ramona is a surgical assistant.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
she's like you know really saving lives,
Oh
right?
yeah. Well,
And then
great
she-
person to bring up.
And then she's playing music, you know,
Yeah,
on top of it.
beautifully. Yeah. Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people out here, a lot of talent, male, female. I'm sure your guest list is going to be thriving for
It
quite
is.
some time.
No, and then I'm gonna start doing Zoom and satellite things now.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm involved with Thunder by the Bay.
Yeah.
That's the charities for Suncoast Charities for Children. I'm involved with that now, and Lucy has been on my show, the director. So she's gonna try to arrange the 38 special and all those big acts that are going to be coming in this year that can get them to interview.
Didn't you play with 38 at the Thunder?
We opened up for Blue Oyster Cult.
Okay.
They're from Long Island, and it's
Yeah.
so funny because they were one of my first records I ever bought was the Godzilla record, you
Okay.
know, from Blue Oyster Cult. And so I had a chance to speak to Eric and Buck backstage. It was cool because we opened up for them, and we got to go backstage and hang out with them before
Very cool.
they played and after they played because we had the laminates so like the cops
Yeah.
were looking at us like, who are you? Why are you? I'm like, show them my badge. Oh man, I'm in the warm-up band. You know, I can go back there. So we go back there and they're cool to us, man. And
Good.
you know, Leap and Larry likes to talk guitars. So him and Buck Dahmer are talking about all these, you know, special guitars. And I'm talking to Eric Bloom and he's telling me, he goes, you know, I'm 80 something years old. He goes, but I'm doing this because it keeps me energetic. It keeps me alive. It's like I'd be in a nursing home if I wasn't.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, music and the scene out here. When I left New York, I had already previously left my other band out there. And I was thinking to myself, like, I am too old to be doing this. I remember saying, like, and I think at the time I was like 40. I was like, I don't want to be the 40-year-old woman on the stage, like trying to look young, for these kids. Because in New York, it's a very different scene. It doesn't thrive like Florida, honestly, like it used to. And then I moved out here and I was like, wait, I am the young kid. Like I'm getting back.
Now you're the hot one.
I'm getting back on the stage.
That's
music
funny.
does keep you young. I'm gonna do this until I can't. And I know you said that last week too. Like, I'm in it until.
You know, I have a day job that I love and
Yeah.
and I'm good at it. But you know what? This, and then the band are my passion projects, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully, when it's time for me to step aside and retire from my day job, this will keep me rocking and rolling well into my late 70s.
Oh,
you know?
sure. Well, and tied with your philanthropic opportunities that I'm sure you will move forward. It's going to be amazing. I'm glad you're using your platform to do good for the
Well,
community.
thank you. So, in the final words, how do people find you on social media? How can they come to your shows?
So we are on Facebook as FM Station FLA. Very important right now to add the FLA. We have our website, fmstationfla.com. We're on Go Tonight as well, FM Station FLA. Our calendar is up there. We have some great new places this year. And, I'm going to hold out and be patient, like I said. And maybe one day we'll play a seafood fest with
Or maybe the
You guys
pineapple drop.
yeah, listen, you gotta
Just dress warmly for
put in
that.
yeah, you gotta put in your dues, right?
What can you, if someone said to you, okay, Jenna, I'm going to come to your show, what do I expect? What would I get? What can you, how do you describe an FM station FLA show to somebody that's never been?
Well, I know we did so much talking. I feel like I didn't talk about the band at all. The guys are gonna kill me.
No, you mentioned
Well,
each one.
yeah, you're gonna get videos. So we run nostalgic videos that I've edited. I do all the editing. Not just music videos. So I'm playing commercials from the 80s and clips and toys and just things that when I watch people in the audience or my husband is out in the audience doing sound, he looks around and people are like, "Oh my God, I remember that." Like I'm also picking the songs that I feel like people forgot. Like, there's always a certain group of songs that you're gonna have to do, that maybe other bands are doing, but I'm trying to pick, like, the B-side stuff, like, the stuff that I don't hear all
Yeah,
the
so I
other
heard you do a
bands.
police song that was not a typical police song.
Yeah, that one we yanked out already, but, that was, like, for the menu venues,
Well, you got
when
to
people
change.
are
Yeah, you got to keep it fresh.
eating. Yeah, but, like, I want mix it up, reggae, new wave, rock, dance, but try, if some band is, maybe playing like Dreams by Fleetwood Mac, like, I want to do Stand Back, or, you know, if somebody's doing Sweet Child of Mine, like I want to do Night Train. Like I'm trying to, because I think we all get so focused sometimes on
The standards.
the standards that we
Right.
all love
Right.
so much and love hearing that we forget there were so many
Right.
more. Like there are 10 years of music in the 80s
I commend you for that.
to be performed.
That's a wonderful way to do things.
Well, thank you.
Well, Jenna, thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
This has been a great episode. I'm sure a lot of people are
Yeah.
going to like it.
Well, thank you for
And
having me.
we'll
I
see you at a
appreciate
future
it.
show.
Absolutely.
Also, in fact, we'll see you Saturday, January 10th
Yeah,
at Gilligan's Siesta
Key.
Key in Sarasota.
Starting our 1-year residency there. We are there every month for a year.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
All right.
looking forward to it.
Thanks.
All right, thank you.